The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5". First down, he'll drop to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards, and it'll be third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
They're going to look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Simmons. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. He'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Panthers have recovered. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right, so number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. To throw on second down. Levy, and he whips that one incomplete there.
And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package. Yeah. 6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. From the gun, Levy to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. But I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the 1st down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
And his kick is good. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So the folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope that good things are in store here today.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
They'll look to throw. Stays on his feet. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
So we have to remember, this offensive unit, they've been off for the last 2 weeks. Had an open week, and so it might take them a little while to get back into rhythm. I know they worked hard to try and get past that in practice, but practice isn't game speed.
Now here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that if they have to punt the ball, they've done so with that first run.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Off the play fake. Levy. And he finds a man with a crossing route. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
And, Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
On third down, it's Fisher. Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough, and it'll be fourth down.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done? Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And now for the first time, we get a look at this defense that was very stout last week.
And all they expect to do is continue what they did a week ago. Play terrific defense and not permit that offense to get started.
They'll look to throw here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
No, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
Or the mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 20. Able to fight through one tackle. It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. Getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Throwing on first down. Levy. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
Here we go now. 3, 19.
Looking to throw on second down. Levy. And he fires one incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. From the gun on third down. Levy. And he comes back with one complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. On first down, Levy, and that'll be incomplete.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. 10 yards still left on second down. Now a handoff looking right. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, the Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
To throw on third down. Levy. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Casey Walker coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They run the counter now on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
One of the things that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
Green 39.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits 000. And time is up on the first quarter. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out. throw here out of the gun. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Simmons. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw, and that is incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for, no gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st and 10, Levy, and incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass.
Here we go now. Green 39.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down. Levy, and he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Partner, when you're not able to run the ball successfully, it really messes everything up for an offense because no longer are you setting the tone and dictating the game. If you do want to throw the ball, play action's kind of gone out the window because they don't respect the run. And last but not least, you don't get to dictate it all when you want to throw the football, and that really hurts you as an offense.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And some room to work. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. He's at the 40, the 20, 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Saints, if they convert the extra point, they'll have the lead. Now we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Now for the point after. And his kick is good. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. It's a short kick here, fielded at the 24. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
As we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now, they had the box stacked. That run was going nowhere from the start.
And when you say stacked, you really mean it, don't you? Because when you're talking about a 46 defense, commonly known as the Bear defense, you're covering up the guys inside, and you're allowing other people to get in there close to the line of scrimmage, usually an 8-man front. That's difficult to block for an offense. On that play, the defense won in a big way. No gain at all.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Levy. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Simmons. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
They'll set up to throw. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And to give this time to the tailback. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
To throw on 2nd down, Levy. And he's got his man on the out route. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first down, Levy, and that is incomplete. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10.
Here we go now. Green.
Throwing again. Levy. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On first and 10, Levy. And Corliss with it over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, second and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. The gun. They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Simmons. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now. Now back to throw. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go. Green.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Given 4 on the ground there, they're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports halftime report. Both the Panthers and the Saints are having some trouble moving the ball through the air. The yardage totals are low, and that's helped play into what was a low-scoring 1st half. So let's take a look at the highlights from the 1st half. Saints opening drive. Avrils able to zero in on the QB here. This one ends up as a loss of 6. 3rd down from the 30. Defense will win the battle and get the sack. This will go for a loss of 8. Saints ball early in the 2nd. Harvey's going to get loose thanks to great blocking, and he'll go in for the score. They go up by 1. 1st and 10. Under pressure here, the ball is picked off. Saints will come away with the football. We're set up for a great 2nd half, so let's get you out to it. Here's Brandon Guyton.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the 1st half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the 2nd half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Looking to throw. Levy. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
On 3rd down, Levy. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Heading back out there now, the Saints defense. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3-and-out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3-and-outs, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here. See if they can force another 3-and-out. Throwing on first down. Levy throws right side, and that's complete. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Back to throw. Levy. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Play action. Levy. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The Panthers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Levy. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And this one is right through. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. So all 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front.
And all these field goals are great, but it's touchdowns that win games for you in the NFL. So you just wonder if settling for 3 on some of these drives is going to come back to haunt them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
That play definitely goes down as a win for the defense, as they were able to get there and tackle him for a loss. But you just got the sense that the runner kept looking for a space to turn upfield, and it kept getting strung out towards the sidelines before the defense finally finished him off.
And a long way to go for the offense here on second down.
Let's go. Green, 39.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
It's not always as trite as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24.
Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
On first down, Levy. He's going to lead this for his running back. It's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
You don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the backfield, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy most likely to bring him down. That was a nice game.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Levy. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's the Panthers punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Able to avoid him at the 40. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Back to throw here. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
How about the defense not hanging their heads from the previous play where they were beat for a big run, came back on the very next down, and made a play defensively that was to their credit.
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
It's been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. This for a 4th quarter lead. And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Levy finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Levy is going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be knocked down sideways at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Second down, 9 yards to go. Looking to throw. Levy. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They get 14 yards there and a 1st down.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal?
Oh, no, he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 34. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 16. Back to throw. Levy. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Let's go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw is going to be incomplete. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs.
All right, here we go. Boom, land it.
And that is incomplete.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, is going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
The play clock's running down, and he'll give it here to his running back. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
To throw on 2nd down. Levy. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Levy. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down. So you've got to think, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it. But it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
3-19.
Over the middle, complete. It's Simmons, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue landing.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Simmons. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
All right, here we go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
They'll look to throw. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down. He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more, and, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Going to give this time to the tailback. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Carolina, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.